Hello everybody and welcome to another video. In this video we're going to be looking at the new core commands for the new edition of Age of Sigmar 4th edition. That's right, in this video we're going to be looking at commands and the new commands, the core commands that you get to do in the new Age of Sigmar 4th edition. Some of these are radically different, which is kind of awesome. So if you are liking my content, please subscribe to the channel now and like, comment, and let me know in the comments what you think of it so far. I'm going to be doing lots of content on the new rules, so let's jump in and have a little look, shall we? So first things first, commands. So we've got command overview. So some abilities called commands are unique that they could be spent on one or more command points. So command points, and it will kind of say in the top right hand corner of the ability of how much that is. This ability, any ability that has a command point cost is indicated in the top right hand corner, just like I just said. So we have a little red box, and red boxes are important in the rules because it kind of summarizes basically what this section of the rules is. So any ability with a command point cost with the sort of little gold shield thing is a command. Each player gains 4 command points at the start of each battle round. That is so cool. So you get 4 straight away. The underdog gains an extra command. So basically, if you don't understand what the underdog is, the person with the underdog is the person who has the least amount of points at the start of that battle round. So if you're losing, you gain an extra command point. Each unit can only use 1 command in each phase. Each command can only be used 1 time by each army in each phase, and you must pay the command points cost to use the command. Now, there's another thing there that it doesn't stipulate. Now, when you build your army, if you've got the least amount of auxiliary units, you also gain an additional command. So if you are the underdog and you have got the least amount of auxiliaries, you're looking at starting a battle round with 6 command points, which is pretty cool. So earning command points. At the start of each battle round, after determining the underdog, each player gets 4 command points. If there is an underdog, they gain an extra command point. So if you are the person with the least amount of points, you gain that. At the end of the battle round, the players' command points are reset to 0. Any that have not been spent are lost. So that's kind of really cool, a new clarification. So you're not keeping your command points every turn. You're kind of literally just like you've got them for that turn. That's what you've got to spend. If you don't spend them, you use them. Command points are used in a similar way to any other ability. However, each unit can only use one command in each phase. Each command can only be used 1 time by each army in each phase, and you must spend a number of command points equal to the command point cost for a command. Pretty self-explanatory. So we have a couple of commands here, the core commands. So in your hero phase, you have 2 commands. We have any hero phase. Now, basically, as I was saying in a previous video, if you look at everything, this is color-coded, and it will tell you when in that phase that you do it. So any hero phase, which means your hero phase and your opponent's. So rally, it will cost 1 CP. Rally with an inspiring call to action. That's blurb, not really interested. You declare a command, pick a friendly unit that is not in combat to use this ability. Now basically, as we look at the rules and everything else, you will notice that certain words are sort of bolded in black. They're your trigger words. They're your words that are really important to bear in mind, that when you read your command or your ability, the stuff in black text is the stuff that you really need to be paying attention to. Effect, make 6 rally rolls. So rally rolls of D6. For each 4+, you receive 1 rally point. Each rally point can be spent in the following ways. So for each rally point spent, heal 1 to that unit. You can spend a number of rally points equal to the health characteristic of that unit to return a slain model in that unit. That's big. You can spend the rally points in any combination of above unspent rally points or lost. Now, one of the things I just want to look at here is the number, you can spend a number of rally points equal to the health characteristic of that unit to return a slain model. So as an example, if you have a Croxagore, okay, unit that have a health pool of 6, you need to spend 6 rally points to bring one of those back. Okay, so you roll 6 dice, you roll 6d6, okay? To make a rally roll, rally roll of d6. For each 4+, you receive 1. So it says you roll 6d6, and for every 4+, you get a point. So you basically need to roll 6 4+s to bring back a Croxagore, okay? That's pretty big, which kind of means that some units are not going to get rallied all the time, and I would like to think that there's going to be certain mechanics in the armies that sort of make that a little bit easier. Another thing as well is that this is in any hero phase. So in some armies you have the abilities to bring units back, and I believe this is sometimes done in the hero phase, which means you can bring the unit back at half strength and then rally them. So enemy hero phase, magical intervention. So it costs 1 CP. Pick a friendly wizard or priest to use this ability. Okay, makes sense. Effect: the friendly unit can use a spell or prayer ability as appropriate as if they were your hero phase. If you do so, subtract 1 from the casting rolls or the chanting rolls as part of that ability. Now, it's not a unbind, okay? You're not trying to stop the spell. You're basically going to cast the spell or a prayer in your phase, in your opponent's phase, to basically screw them around. So as a good example, if there's something like Protection of Teclis is a thing in the Lumineth Realm Lords, that's kind of when you're going to do it. So we got movement commands. So enemy movement phase, and this is called a redeploy, and this costs you 1 CP. So in another video I talked about how a command or abilities work, where you declare it, you react to it, you then get an effect. The reaction is this: so when a unit moves a unit and they move a unit, you, as soon as they say they're going to move it, you can go, I'm going to react to that and pay 1 CP. And what that means is you're going to react to that movement by placing or by doing a redeploy, okay? And in your enemy movement phase, you pick a friendly unit that is not in combat to use this ability. Each model in that unit can move up to D6. That move cannot pass through or end within combat range of an enemy unit. So you can't get within 3. And keywords is it's a move/run. So it's counted as a move and it's counted as a run, okay? Now, I would imagine that for any core army rules that give you +1 to move, +1 to run would affect that. But we'll have to look in that when we look at those type of abilities later on. So you have a reaction, you declare a run ability. So 1 point at the double. The unit uses the run ability. Do not make a run roll as part of that run ability. Instead, add 6 inches to the unit's move characteristic to determine the distance of each model in the unit as made a run ability. So in previous editions, this would be an advance. You could advance and you could basically add D6 to the roll, and you would roll a D6, and then you would move slightly faster. You could use a CP to get a 6 automatically. This is essentially what this is called, but they've now called it at the double, which is kind of cool. Next, we have shooting phase commands. So this is done in the enemy shooting phase, and it costs 1 CP. Covering fire. Pick one friendly unit that is not in combat to use this ability. Effect: resolve a shooting attack for that unit, but all of the attacks must target the nearest visible enemy unit, and you must subtract 1 from the hit rolls for those attacks. So you're -1 to hit, okay, and you have to shoot at the closest target. This is kind of cool. I like this. It's kind of cool because it kind of was return fire for the Cities of Sigmar orders, and it's now like a core command that's going to cost me 1 CP. So like a cannon or 20 Fusiliers is definitely going to be doing this, and will definitely be smashing the closest enemy unit. So yeah, really like that. Next, we have charge phase commands, and there's quite a few here. So we've got charge phase commands. So this is enemy charge phase, okay, and it costs 2 CP, and it's called counter charge. Pick a friendly unit that is not in combat to use this ability. That unit can use a charge ability as if it were your charge phase. So basically, your opponent does all of their charges, and then at the charge, you then charge with a unit. Super cool. I can see this being used a lot on things like Gotrek. You know, like someone doesn't get him into combat, and you just do a like 2 CP, and you just throw him into there, and you just get an extra unit in, or get a unit into like a unit of 10 cavalry or something, getting him in there as well. You know, that's super good, and I really love the fact that you can now counter charge as a core command ability. Reaction, you declare a charge ability, forward to victory, used by the unit using the charge ability. Effect, you can reroll the charge ability. So you can reroll your charge for 1 CP. Pretty cool. Next, we've got attacking, shooting, and combat commands. Reaction, you declare an attacking ability, all out attack. Okay, costs 1 CP. So the unit using the attacking ability, effect, you add 1 to the hit rolls for attacks made as part of that attacking ability. This also affects weapons. That have the companion ability rule. That's really good, because there is a sort of a thing in the rules where it talks about companions that it says that they're not affected by certain things. So like if the Mark of Khorne doesn't give you your companion attacks +1 attack, it's just the rider. So the a Chaos Knight with the Mark of Khorne doesn't get the +1 attack. Well, he does, but his mount doesn't. But on all out attack does, it gives you +1 to hit, which is kind of cool. And then defensive commands. So reaction, opponent declares an attack, it costs you 1 CP, all out defense. A unit targeted by an attack, you add 1 to save rolls for that phase. That's pretty good. Now, there's another thing, is little things as well in cover, that you can't be affected by cover if you charged or have the fly keyword. So if you're in cover and you get charged, you're like -1 to hit, and then you can all out defense. So you then get +1 save, which is really cool. I've already seen things like on Slaves to Darkness with Mark and Nurgle, you're -1 to wound. Yeah, it's going to be nuts. And like Chaos Warriors with a Mark and Nurgle sitting in terrain are going to be super defensive and super hard to lift, because you're going to be -1 to hit them, -1 to wound them, and you know, because of the Mark and Nurgle. And then if they go all out defense, they're going to get a 2-up save. So yeah, some really cool combinations already coming into it already. So then we have end of the turn commands. So it's 1 point. So power through. Now this is a new command that's kind of coming with forth. So basically, pick a friendly unit that charged this turn to use this ability. Then you must pick an enemy unit that in combat with it to be the target. The target must have a lower health characteristic than the unit using this ability. Effect, inflict D3 mortal damage on the target. Then the unit using this ability can move a distance up to the move characteristic. It can pass through and end that move within combat range of enemy units that were in combat with it at the start of the move, but not those of other enemy units. It does not have to end the move in combat. So basically, let's break this down. So you pay 1 CP and it's at the end of a turn. So you pick a friendly unit that charged this turn, okay? And you use this ability. You then pick an enemy unit that is in combat with this unit, and the target must have a lower health. So if you've got a hero with 7 health, and you're fighting a unit of, say, I don't know, Steel Helms, and they've got 1 health, you've got a higher health than them. So you can then inflict D3 mortal damage, and you basically just run through them. You can run away from them essentially and get out of combat, but you do a little bit of damage on your way in. There are abilities, so like Stormcaster chariots and stuff having a passive ability that does enhances this, and it's kind of cool. So it's kind of like you're fighting through the enemy, inflicting damage and breaking their lines and fighting through. It's probably going to be really good at clearing out screens or getting through screens and then getting to that nice meaty chunkiness of the enemy army in behind. But all in all, that is it. And that's the commands basically. So that is the core commands, the new command abilities for Age of Sigmar 4th edition, and they're pretty cool. And as you can see, they're pretty simple to sort of learn to use. The color coding system, telling you when to use them and when not to use them, is really quite good. And all in all, it's a really good system. I really quite like it, actually. There's some really good ones. I love the fact that you can now have Return Fire as basically a core command. The ability to potentially getting up to 6 command points a turn is really good. You get 4. You've got the underdog mechanic. You've got some things there where you're going to be able to use them, which is really cool. Yeah, I'm really impressed. I really like the new changes to command points. I really like the new changes to command abilities. Obviously, there's going to be some there that are like in the factions and stuff like that, which is going to be really quite interesting. It kind of definitely refreshing to sort of see how it's going to be done. Yeah, and I'm super excited. I really cannot wait to get playing. So yeah, but if you like what I'm doing, please like, subscribe, share, comment below what you think of them, and most importantly, please subscribe. Like we're very close to hitting 3,000 subscribers, so it'd be cool if we can get there soon. And I will see you all in the next video. There's going to be a lot more videos on the 4th edition rules now I've got the document. So yeah, so stay tuned and definitely subscribe for more. All right. I'll catch you later, people. Goodbye.